For a good A1C, Michael Patton.
I was going to be the exception. My father had it. My grandfather had it. My great-grandfather had it before him. I had known growing up. They all told me the stories about it. It didn't matter that all the men in my family had it. I was going to be the exception. Oh, I had my usual eye exams. I would go in, and the doctor would look in the back of my eyes. You see, the eyes work two ways. I can see out, doctors can see in. When they're looking in the blood vessels in my retinas. And what they're looking for are signs for diabetes. My eyes were always fine. I exercised some. Nothing ever really consisted. Didn't really care much for team sports. Didn't care much for any sports for that matter. I had three really close personal friends, Jim, Jack, and Johnny. Jim being Jack Daniels, Johnny Walker. They didn't care much for sports either. I enjoyed the good life. A fine red steak with a bottle of wine, followed up by a single malt scotch afterwards. Vegetables to me was a leaf of lettuce and a slice of tomato on a thick, juicy cheeseburger. My friends and I, we would drink well into the night. We would often have cigars at the same time. And we would have competition amongst ourselves as to who will hold their liquor the best. I usually won. For anyone who's not pre-diabetic like I was, that lifestyle was unhealthy. For me, it was a ticking time bomb. I live by the mantra. We're all going to die someday. I was not going to arrive at the grave all polished and spit shine. I was going to come sliding in at 50 miles an hour, broken, battered, and bruised, a cocktail in one hand, a cigar in the other, saying, "Woo-hoo, what a ride!" And oh, what a ride it was. What a ride it was. In my 20s, I had to get glasses. During that eye exam, my eyes were still fine, no signs of diabetes. No big deal, people got glasses all the time. Me, I just kept riding straight along. I was beginning to settle in, though, becoming a family man, had to settle down. I was out of shape, and I knew it. Back in my youth, I could run a 5K in under 20 minutes. Now I could barely run 5 minutes if that at all. I was overweight. In fact, I crossed over the line into obesity. I knew I had to do something. Something. I'll do it tomorrow. Like little orphan Annie. I love tomorrow. It was always a day away. In the summer of 2005, I had an annual visit with my doctor, and he told me my blood glucoses were abnormal. Had to do a few tests. Those tests revealed high A1C, all the way up near 9.0. Now see, an A1C measures the amount of glucose in your blood averaged over the past 90 days. And a normal reading for someone without diabetes would have an A1C anywhere between 4 and 6, and I was way there at 9. Not good, not good. I took that report in my hand from the doctor, and I did what any normal, sane person would do. I ignored it. I ignored it. And after the shock was over, I said, you know, maybe I ought to do something about this. And for a little bit, I did a little bit of exercise. I got rid of all the things that I liked, just removed them out of the house, brought in all the things that I should like. Didn't really. But I brought them in anyway, and I said, I'm going to exercise every day, all day. And that lasted a little bit. I went back for my first visit with the doctor, and my A1C had come down a little. I I was exuberant. I was like, yes, I'm on the right track. And I went home and I celebrated. Didn't exercise that day, had one of those meals I had in the past. I liked it so much I did it again the next day. 1 day, 2 days, 20 days, heck, I quit my ball. I could do it anytime. It was easy. That first 90 days, I got just like that. I can do it anytime I want. Subsequent visits, my A1C started going back up, my weight started going back up. All the work I had done in the first 90 days was wiped out. Didn't do a thing about it. And my doctor put me on meds. Meds. Ooh, this could work. I like this. Meds can do all the stuff I'm supposed to be doing, and I can still do this stuff. Cool! Each subsequent visit after that, my A1C kept going higher. I kept getting bigger. I kept getting way unhealthier. Until one day I was looking at a photograph of myself in my daughter's princess tribe with all the other dads and all the other girls. I was the biggest man in them. Height and width. I didn't like that, and I knew it was going to kill me unless I did something about it. I needed an inspiration. I needed something to move me, something to kick me in my butt. I needed a roadmap. I needed a guide. I needed a mentor. I needed help. Because diet and exercise were just words up to that point. They weren't a plan. I needed that plan. And I found the inspiration in an unexpected place. A fellow Toastmaster here had given a speech on setting goals. And part of her speech was using P90X to get to her goal. There's my roadmap! I went out, researched it, found it, used it. I love that Tony Horton brought up, do your best and forget the rest, and I did it. My A1Cs came down. I felt exceptional. Diet and exercise, eating well, all great things. Diabetes took the life of my dad. He was blind and nearly crippled when diabetes took him out. Took my grandfather, took my great-grandfather. It won't take me, I will be the exception.